Today we're talking about social media, mental health, and the trillion-dollar question: how much is our mental health worth? And importantly, who's making money off of it? Who's cashing in on our addiction, our mental health, and our struggles with social media? Let's begin with a confession of mine, and like everyone else, probably who's watching this. Today I am posting this on YouTube, of course, right? And I'm going to make a short, put it on TikTok. And then, of course, there'll be a link on Instagram and Facebook. Now, there's other ones like Snapchat and X and a few others that people use. I even hear young people say, well, I don't use Facebook. But they have a Facebook, they just don't use it. Okay? We still have it, we just don't always post on things. But we post things on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, which is owned by Meta, which is a billion-dollar company, right? If you've ever opened a YouTube channel, YouTube app, your app on your phone, on your computer, I'm just going to check out a video. Check out one thing. And then 2 hours later, you're still watching, right? You're not alone. You didn't fail. You were out-designed, okay? We all hear about algorithms, the YouTube algorithm, the Facebook algorithm, things that just kind of show up on our pages, right? Social media platforms, especially YouTube, which again, I'm posting on today, right? They don't just host content. They have experience in giving us experiences, okay? They curate to what we crave. They figure out what we watch and they give us more and more and more of it. Their job simply is to keep you watching. Why? Advertising. YouTube and other industries like this get a lot of money from advertising. The longer you stay, the more ads you see, the more ads you see, the more money they make, the more money you make for them, the happier they are. They get data on you, what you watch, what you like, and they sell that data. You can say, well, I didn't give them permission. You did as soon as you logged in. Google's second largest search engine is YouTube. So if you don't Google something, but you go on YouTube, you're still giving Google all of your information. But let's be honest, we all do it, right? We all watch TikTok. When TikTok was down for like a whole day, we all of us had nothing to do. We didn't know what we were doing with our lives, right? Behind all of this is the algorithms, not designed to serve truth or mental health or betterment or knowledge. Its job is to keep you watching. And your value, what YouTube and Google and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all of these, your value is time spent, not your well-being, not what they're showing you. It's, do you click on little thumbnails to show, see what it is, to see what it, you got to be excited about it, right? And once you click on it, they know more about you. Remember YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, Snap, those aren't private. Snapchat's not private. Okay. You might be able to pause your system, or may be able to, do the whole, I'm on a VPN. They still know who you are. Okay. No VPN will protect you from Facebook and Instagram and YouTube knowing who you are and where you are. Psychologists call it persuasive technology. Engineers call it optimization. But we might just call it manipulation or a drug dealing, okay? They're dealing us a drug that we love, that we want, that we desire. And we take it every day and we love it and we want it. It's a legal drug. It's like sugar, caffeine, all wrapped into one. Now let's go to the little darker, even darker side of it. You think a platform that thrives when users feel good would design or want to be more about designing happiness. But that's not how the economics work on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, or even X. YouTube's algorithm learned this on its own, okay? They learned that bad things sell. It didn't start with evil intent. It's not like they went, oh, let's show the worst videos possible. No, it started with metrics. They basically said, hey, who clicks on this stuff? And how many times do they click it? And how many times do they share it, like it, whatever? So when YouTube noticed things slowing down for certain aspects but speeding up for others, they push their algorithms to push the things that were making them money. Fear mongering during COVID, pre-COVID, the presidential stuff, they pushed that hard. They pushed pundits who were on the left or on the right who would say outrageous things. They would push them out there because every time you clicked on them, they made money. They learned more about you. Okay? Google once said, we've moved from a tool-based internet to an addiction-based one. Okay? Google, Tristan Harris from Google literally said that on Google during a online source thing where a bunch of people from online went online, people who influence everybody. Okay? I'm not one of those, but he basically said we've moved from a tool-based to an addiction-based. So they know what they're doing. Okay? Here's the fallout from it, though. Here's what makes this not great for you, not great for me, not great for anyone. For me personally, I've been putting on stuff on YouTube, and now I'm kind of addicted to watching who watches. I'm addicted to seeing who likes. I've changed some of the things so people can't see how many likes or views I get completely, just so I can see it, because I don't want to be embarrassed if something doesn't get looked at a lot. Multiple studies link heavy social media use to higher rates of depression, anxiety, body dissatisfaction, especially among teens and young adults. YouTube often seems safer, right? They have a kids channel. They're safer than Instagram or TikTok, but it's not. In fact, because of its long-form content, it can deepen immersion and create a bond with kids automatically. CoComelon is a great example. CoComelon is something that kids will watch on YouTube, and it's highly stimulating, and it can go on for hours, and the parents don't even notice it because the kids are quiet, right? That's all it is. Kids are quiet, so they're good. Now, don't get me wrong. I want you to watch YouTube just to watch me, right? No, there's a lot of good content on YouTube. The problem is not all of it is good for us. Social interactions on YouTube are good, but then there are people who do social interaction on YouTube for the negative clicks and likes. And don't get me wrong, okay? Not all the YouTube bonds you face with people or get with people, not all the creators you follow are bad. Some are, but here's the thing, some are human. Mr. Beast is a human. He makes mistakes, but he also tries to do good things. Okay, JP Sears is a comedian. He says some, crazy things, but he also tries with satire to show that the world is a little funny right now, and people are kind of crazy, and sometimes you just gotta laugh because what else are you gonna do, right? There's real social interaction on these things. A lot of times people go into crowds and talk to them and try to get them riled up, and sometimes the crowds get riled up all on their own. And that's kind of what happens, right? But the algorithm knows that we love it. It knows that we want to fall down that rabbit hole, down that dark hole of finding out what's next. At the end of a lot of videos, you'll see, even on mine, you'll see a little end screen with a little video of what to watch next, right? And to subscribe. And that's what pushes a lot of people on YouTube and other social media platforms to do more outrageous content. They're doing it for the clicks, for the likes, for the subscribes, for the money. They know that they can make income off of it. And sometimes we forget that they're humans. We treat them like they're something else. We hold them to a standard that we can't hold ourselves to. And that can be negative on a lot of social media influencers. A lot of them have left social media or take long breaks because mentally they break down. They just can't take it. And I get that. Mental health content is booming. Why? Because everyone's online telling everybody else how to feel better. We all are in this kind of zoned out depression. A lot of us don't know what to do without social media, so we go to social media to figure out how to feel better, when it might be the social media that's not making us feel good in the long, that's the reason we don't feel good, is we're on social media too much. This episode is not really to put people down for doing social media. It's not for making people feel bad for using social media. We all do it. I'm doing it right now as we speak. But sometimes I think all of us need to unplug. We need to take a break, take a walk, look at a tree, a real tree, not a AI tree, a real tree. Call someone, talk to someone, a real person, real alive person. I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm making sure that you understand, and I think a lot of you do, but you still do it. It's an addiction. Okay, YouTube, this lovely YouTube. Okay, Google's YouTube. This company made 40 billion. That's with a B, billion dollars last year. Most of it did not come from creators or subscriptions or memberships. It came from your behavior, ads, clicking, you watching something and watching an ad for 15 seconds before you hit the skip button, or forgetting to hit the skip button, watch the whole dang thing. That's where they get their money. And it's crazy. It's crazy because every time you click on my channel or anybody else's channel, YouTube makes a little bit more money. Every click, every pause, every skip, every comment, they track it all. Not because someone is spying on you personally, but because they want to know your pattern so they can sell you more things. And ad buyers don't want you. They want people like you, okay? People who watch ASMR at 2 in the morning, people who binge productivity content like how to build something or install something, but people who aren't productive, but people who watch it anyway. People who are lonely, anxious, bored, or spiraling out of control who watch mental health stuff. Those people stay on longer. People who are mentally tired and fatigued or don't have family or human connection, they'll stay online even longer. And those are the people they love. That makes them get dollar bills and dollar signs, okay? It's called an attention economy. That's what we're kind of in right now in America. It's that way a little bit in Japan too, but in America it's even worse. YouTube doesn't just show your content, okay? Content. It doesn't just show you mine or somebody else's. It psychs you into knowing what you want to watch next, and it builds off that raw material that it steals from you. And when you start to internalize that, basically you have become your own thumbnail, your own brand to YouTube. Every time you log in, and you log in not as a guest, but as a real person, they start making money off of you. Now, we as a group of people in America and across the world, we have a paradox going on. I'm a creator, right? Not a great creator, but I'm a creator, and I need people to watch my videos to be a creator. I don't make any money off of YouTube, but I feel better mentally when people watch my stuff. A lot of these creators, this is their livelihood. This is how they make money. And they are also victims of the system that they work in. Because if they get shadow banned because they think, they're giving out good advice, but because they're not a doctor, YouTube has now said, well, you can't give out that advice, so we're not going to show your video because you're not a doctor. Or they say something that might come across as a negative or hate speech, and they label their stuff incorrectly. YouTube just shadow bans them or bans them. They stop losing that revenue, and so they have to figure out a new way of doing it. And mentally, when you go from making all the money, having all the publicity to nothing quickly, it's really, really bad for your mental health. Again, I'm not a big YouTube creator, but when people don't watch a video that I think is really well done, I get upset. I get kind of sad. I'm like, what did I do wrong? We could just say, or I could just say, log off, stop watching. It's not realistic. The platform's not realistic. What's going on isn't realistic. A lot of it's AI. Just don't do it. Platforms like YouTube are woven into how we learn things, how we connect. A lot of schools tell their kids to watch YouTube videos on history, on science, on theater. It's amazing. There's a whole genre of YouTube channels just for education. The answer isn't rejecting the system. It's resistance through awareness. Knowing when you've gone too far. Knowing when you've done too much. Knowing when you've gone through too many channels, too many things, too many details, too many downloads, too many hours of watching, and realizing what it's done to your health, mental health, physical health, all your health, okay, your spiritual health even. Because there's churches online, all different types. And spiritually, again, they're on there. Most churches aren't online to make money or they're just there to give out their message. but some are. Some people are on there in the name of God or Allah or Jehovah or anything in between to try to get clicks and to make money. Okay, that's just the way it works. Right now, the world is collateral damage to large corporations. Again, Google, $1 billion company, almost $1 trillion company. TikTok, depends on who owns them. They make a lot of money, guys. Instagram and Facebook, both of who are owned by Meta. Again, another $1 billion company. And that's just the 4 of those. There's others out there. There's Snapchat. There's X, who, Elon Musk bought for $40 billion. These companies are not a nonprofit. They're not there to take care of you. They're there to make money. They don't care about creators. They don't care about you guys as their, I don't want to say victims. You guys as the people who eat, watch, live, and die with their material. They care about what you bring them for money. And here's the good part of YouTube. You can learn, you can try to grow, you can learn new experiences, you can learn new languages, you can learn about new people. But here's the negative. Once you start learning about these new people, you might get the, fear of missing out. Or, hey, I learned this skill, but I can't do it. So you're going to get depressed because you can't do that skill. All these things are what is good and bad about social media. We learn, we can grow, we can experience things from all over the world. But sometimes we want to live those people's lives. I see Mr. Beast being a millionaire. I don't want to live his life because I understand there's a lot of stress and anxiety with that. There's a bright spotlight on him. Everything he does is ridiculed and picked apart. Same with, Jake and Paul Logan. Same thing. Even small-ish creators, the ones that only have 100,000 or 200,000 followers. These guys are all people who work hard every day, and if they make one mistake, they're done. They can just kiss their career goodbye, and they have to figure out what they're going to do next. I don't want to be one of those people. I want to be somebody who just, I care about who watches my videos. I care about who watches videos on YouTube. Right now, my grandson's not even allowed to watch YouTube because even though it's on kids, there's so much negative on kids. It's not worth it. It's not worth putting him through that mental stress, and it's not worth me having to fight with him because of the ramifications of that mental stress. So while you watch YouTube or TikTok, or you post on Facebook or Instagram or X for the older people, I guess, or Snapchat, just remember that it's not private. They don't care about your mental health. They care about your money and what you can get them when they sell your stuff online. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for sticking with me through all the craziness. And I will talk to you guys later.